7 minutes. That's all Jesus needed to enter a state where the sick were healed, broken hearts were restored, the paralyzed walked, and reality itself seemed to bow before his presence. 7 minutes of something almost no one understands. What was Jesus doing in those hours of silence, completely alone at the top of the mountain, before the sun even appeared on the horizon? The Gospels mention it over and over. Jesus withdrew. He retreated. He sought solitude. But no one explains what he was doing there. He wasn't asking things from heaven like a spiritual beggar waiting for divine handouts. He wasn't repeating memorized formulas like a religious parrot. He wasn't begging a distant and indifferent God who might listen, might not, depending on his celestial mood. Jesus was entering a place, an inner place, a sacred space within himself that he called, with simple but infinitely profound words, the secret room, an inner sanctuary where the noise of the world completely disappeared and only the pure, living, transforming presence remained. And here's what no one told you. That secret room exists within you right now. It has always existed, since before you were born, since before you learned to pray with words you didn't feel, since the first breath you took. The problem, the only problem, is that you were taught to pray outward, upward, toward the distant sky, when the real connection, the living connection, the transforming connection was always inward. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to enter that room, step by step, without unnecessary mysteries, without complicated language, just the truth that Jesus taught. If you've ever closed your eyes to pray and felt like you were talking to emptiness, that your words bounced off the ceiling of your room and fell to the floor without anyone hearing them. If you faithfully moved your lips, repeated the prayers they taught you since childhood, followed all the instructions they gave you, but when you opened your eyes, absolutely everything remained exactly the same crushing weight in your chest that won't go away, the same nameless anguish that accompanies you day and night, the same persistent, unbearable feeling that something fundamental is missing in your spiritual life, as if there were a hole in your soul that nothing can fill. Not prayers, not sermons, not books, not meetings, nothing. You're not alone. Listen to this, you're not alone. There are millions of people right now on every continent, in every language, feeling exactly the same thing you're feeling. People who believe with all their heart, who desperately want to connect, who seek God with absolute sincerity, but something doesn't work, something doesn't fit, something is broken in the system they were taught. And for years, or perhaps for decades, perhaps your whole life, you've carried a silent guilt you've never confessed to anyone, a secret guilt that shames you. The guilt of not feeling what you supposedly should feel when you pray. The guilt of asking and asking and asking and never receiving an answer. The guilt of believing with your mind, of accepting the correct doctrines, of saying the right words, but never experiencing anything real with your heart. Maybe you thought the problem was your faith, that you simply didn't have enough, that others had something you didn't have. Maybe you thought God was angry with you, disappointed, punishing you with his silence. Maybe you even thought there was something fundamentally defective in your spirit, that you were born broken, that you didn't deserve to be heard. But listen to this with every fiber of your being. There is absolutely nothing broken in you. Nothing. The problem was never your heart. Your heart is perfect. Your soul is perfect. Your ability to connect with the divine is intact. The problem was always the method, the technique, the way they taught you to seek. What happened is simple to understand, though deeply painful to accept. Over the centuries, with each passing generation, Jesus' inner teaching was being simplified. It was adapted for the masses, trimmed to fit in short sermons, diluted so it wouldn't bother anyone, converted into something anyone could repeat mechanically, without needing to understand anything. Not because someone wanted to harm you, there was no evil conspiracy to hide the truth from you, but because the profound is tremendously difficult to transmit with words. The interior doesn't fit in 5-step formulas. The sacred cannot be packaged, labeled, and distributed like a product in the spiritual supermarket. And so, inevitably, over time, living prayer became dead words. Mechanical petitions repeated without feeling, external rituals done out of obligation, without any inner transformation. The inner state that Jesus practiced was lost. The secret room he spoke of was forgotten. The sacred silence where God truly speaks was completely set aside, not with audible words but with transforming presence. Millions and millions of people were left praying outward, upward, toward a distant and indifferent sky, never knowing that the true door was always inward. But here's the news that can change your life today. What was lost can be completely recovered. The inner prayer that Jesus practiced didn't disappear from the face of the earth. It was only forgotten by the majority. It just stopped being taught in common places. But always, in every century, in every generation, there were those who kept it as the most precious treasure. Mystics hidden in remote monasteries, silent contemplatives in desert caves, anonymous seekers who preferred the living experience of the Spirit over any dead theological debate. And that sacred flame is still alive today, still burning, still blazing, still available to anyone who has eyes to see and ears to hear. You are here, now, at this precise moment. That means something profound. It means something inside you, something wiser than your conscious mind, recognizes there's more. That prayer can be infinitely more than words thrown into the void. That God can be much more than a cold and distant theological concept. In the next few minutes of this video, I'm going to show you 3 specific things. First, exactly what Jesus taught about inner prayer, using his own words directly from the Gospels, without added interpretations. Second, how to enter the secret room he spoke of, step by step, in a practical and concrete way you can apply today. Third, a complete guided practice we'll do together that you can experience right now as you listen. If this message is resonating in your heart, if something inside you is saying yes as you listen, I invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. Here we're not going to debate religion or attack anyone. We're going to explore the inner path together. We're going to reclaim what was always yours by spiritual birthright. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so each new video of this journey comes directly to you. Now let's go deep. Let's go where few dare to go. Jesus said something that has the power to change absolutely everything in your spiritual life, but he said it with such simple, everyday, seemingly obvious words that almost no one took it seriously. Almost no one stopped to ask what it really meant. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 6, is recorded the most powerful instruction about prayer ever given in human history. But you, when you pray, enter into your room, and having shut your door, pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. Read those words again, read them very slowly. Let each word penetrate. Enter into your room, having shut your door, your Father who is in secret, in secret. For 2,000 years, this extraordinary phrase was interpreted in the most literal and superficial way possible. People understood. Find an empty room in your house, close the physical door so no one sees you, and pray in private instead of doing it publicly to impress others. And yes, of course, there's practical wisdom in that basic interpretation. It's better to pray in private than make a public spectacle of your piety. But Jesus never spoke on just one level. He always spoke in layers, in multiple dimensions of meaning, in depths that only reveal themselves according to the spiritual maturity of the listener. The room Jesus speaks of is not a physical room in your house with 4 walls and a wooden door. It's your interior. It's the sacred sanctuary that exists within you. It's that deep space within your being where the incessant noise of the outside world simply cannot enter, where the compulsive thoughts that normally torment you finally calm down and quiet, where the noisy ego, that inner voice always judging, comparing, complaining, fearing, finally stops screaming and surrenders, where only pure presence remains, living silence, awakened consciousness, peace that surpasses all understanding. Shutting the door means closing the external senses that constantly distract you. It means stopping looking outward, seeking God in the sky, in temples, in rituals, in other people. It means stopping seeking outside what can only and exclusively be found inside. And the Father who is in secret is not an elderly God sitting in the clouds millions of kilometers away, indifferent to your pain, busy with matters more important than your small life. It's the divine presence that dwells right now at this instant in your deepest center, closer to you than your own breath, more intimate than your most secret thoughts, more real than anything you can see with your physical eyes. The Apostle Paul expressed it with astonishing clarity in his letter to the Colossians, chapter 1, verse 27. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Christ in you, not only up in some distant heaven, Not only outside in some sacred temple, not only in the future after you die, in you, right now, alive, present, waiting to be recognized. And when Jesus spoke of the famous kingdom of God, that kingdom he tirelessly preached throughout his entire ministry, where specifically did he say it was located? The Gospel of Luke, chapter 17, verse 21, says it with clarity that leaves no room for doubt. The kingdom of God is within you, within. Not in a geographical place you can visit on a pilgrimage, not in a religious institution you must belong to, not in Rome, not in Jerusalem, not in Mecca, not in any temple built by human hands, within you, now, available, accessible, patiently waiting to be discovered. Inner prayer, then, is not the act of asking things from a distant God with the hope that he'll do you a favor if he likes you. It's the sacred act of entering that inner kingdom. It's consciously crossing the door of your own heart. It's descending to the deepest center of your being, where the divine presence has always been waiting for you with infinite patience. When you pray from that inner place, something changes radically. Not because you managed to convince God to do something he didn't want to do, but because you consciously align yourself with something that's already happening, with a current of life and love that has always been flowing. True healing doesn't come from outside as an arbitrary gift. It comes from reconnecting with the source of all life that was always within. True peace doesn't arrive because your external circumstances finally change. It arrives because you enter an inner place where peace already exists eternally, independent of any circumstance. This is exactly what Jesus knew. This is what he practiced every dawn on the mountain. Jesus wasn't asking. He was entering. He wasn't begging. He was remembering his eternal union with the Father. Remembering that the kingdom was already present, here and now. Remembering that the separation between God and human was never real, just a painful illusion created by the limited mind. And from that place of deep union, from that inner secret room, absolutely everything was possible. The sick were healed because he didn't see sickness as the final reality. He saw the divine completeness that was always there, beneath appearances. The hardest hearts were transformed because he didn't see irredeemable sinners. He saw beloved children who had simply forgotten their true divine nature. That same secret room is in you, right now. And the door is waiting for you to finally open it. Now I want you to do something with me. Something simple but profoundly powerful. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to or can't right now. But I do want you for a moment to stop just listening to these words with your analytical mind and start feeling with your whole being. Put your attention on your breath. Don't change it. Don't try to improve it. Don't force it to be deeper or slower. Just observe it exactly as it is, as if you were a silent and loving witness to your own life. Feel how the air enters through your nose, how your chest expands gently to receive it, how your abdomen moves with an ancient rhythm you've never had to control. Something in you is alive right now, breathing without you having to think about it, without you having to command it, without any conscious effort on your part. Your heart beats, your blood circulates, your cells regenerate. Everything happens automatically, mysteriously, miraculously. That which breathes in you, that which beats in you, that which lives in you without your permission is not you, not your ego, not your personality. It's life itself, the same universal, infinite, eternal life that Jesus called the Father. Now bring your attention to the center of your chest, not just to the physical organ of the heart that pumps blood, though that too counts and is sacred. Bring your attention to the energetic center of your chest, that place where you feel love when you truly love, where you feel pain when something wounds you deeply, where you feel the undeniable presence of something sacred when you finally allow yourself to feel without defenses. Perhaps, as you listen to these words, you're already feeling something, a subtle warmth that expands, an opening you can't explain, a nameless emotion rising from some deep place, perhaps a lump in your throat, perhaps tears that want to come out for no apparent reason, perhaps a sigh that needs to be released. All of that is normal. All of that is good. All of that is a sign that you're beginning to enter. The body is not an obstacle to spiritual experience. The body is the sacred portal. Jesus knew this perfectly. That's why he healed physical bodies, not just abstract souls. That's why he touched the sick with his own hands, a radical act in his culture. That's why he used physical and tangible elements in his healings, saliva, mud, water, bread, wine. The spirit is not separate from the flesh, as we've been led to believe. The spirit inhabits the flesh, penetrates it, passes through it, illuminates it from within like a lamp illuminates a room. When prayer is genuinely real, the body responds in ways you can't fake. You can feel peace descending on your tense shoulders that finally relax, warmth expanding in your chest as if someone had lit a gentle flame, tears that flow without rational explanation, tears of ancient relief, of profound recognition, of coming home after a long exile. A deep sigh that releases something you didn't even know you'd been carrying for years. That's not imagination. That's not self-suggestion. That's not placebo effect. It's prayer becoming real in your body. It's spirit touching matter. It's heaven entering the earth of your flesh. Healing of the soul and healing of the body are not two separate things happening in different compartments. When you genuinely enter the secret room, when you truly connect with the inner presence, something begins to heal at all levels of your being. Not always instantly and dramatically like in movies, not always visibly to others' eyes, but something moves in the depths. Something is silently restored. Something that was blocked for years begins to flow freely again. That's why Jesus could say with such confidence, "Your faith has healed you." Because true faith is not believing correct concepts with your intellectual mind. It's opening yourself completely with your whole being, mind, heart, body, soul, to the presence that heals. It's allowing the divine to enter into your bones, into your cells, into the DNA of your existence. And when that happens, healing is not a supernatural miracle that violates the laws of the universe. It's the completely natural result of reconnecting with the source of all life, all health, all wholeness. I'd love to know from what part of the world you're listening to me right now. Write it in the comments, not just out of personal curiosity, but because when you write, you anchor this experience in reality. You make it more concrete, more yours. Tell me from what country, what city you're watching this video. And as you continue listening, allow your body to remain an active part of this prayer. It's not just your mind that's here, it's your whole, complete being. What we're exploring together here is nothing new. It's not a modern invention by some contemporary guru. It's not a passing spiritual fad of the 21st century. It's not something someone made up yesterday to sell books or courses. This is deeply rooted in the scriptures themselves. It's present in the oldest and most venerable Christian tradition. It's at the very heart of what Jesus came to reveal to humanity. When Jesus taught, he used simple, everyday words, parables that even a small child could understand at their level. But behind those apparently simple words were layers and layers of depth that only reveal themselves to those who are genuinely willing to go beyond the surface. He himself declared it explicitly in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 13. To you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Mysteries, not exclusive secrets for a privileged elite with special connections in heaven, but truths so profound, so vast, so transformative, that they require a completely open heart, a humbly willing spirit, a mind that accepts not being able to understand everything intellectually in order to finally experience it existentially. Inner prayer has incredibly deep roots throughout the biblical tradition from the very beginning. In the Old Testament, Psalm 46, verse 10, proclaims with divine authority, "Be still and know that I am God." Still, silent, interior. It's not in noise where God truly reveals himself, not in frantic religious activity, not in the 1,000 words we desperately throw at heaven. It's in stillness, in silence, in the inner space where we finally stop talking and begin to listen. The prophet Elijah had an experience that illustrates this extraordinarily. He sought God in the strong and powerful wind that split mountains and shattered rocks. But God was not in the spectacular wind. He sought God in the earthquake that violently shook the earth. But God was not in the dramatic earthquake. He sought God in the devouring and terrifying fire, but God was not in the impressive fire. Where was God then? In the still, small voice, in the almost imperceptible whisper, in the inner voice so soft it can only be heard when absolutely everything else falls silent. This tradition of inner prayer never completely disappeared from Christian history. The Desert Fathers, in the early centuries of Christianity, left the cities and retreated to the radical silence of the Egyptian desert to seek that same experience of divine union. They practiced what they called hesychasm, from the Greek word hesychia, meaning sacred stillness, deep inner silence, peace that transcends all understanding. Great mystics like Meister Eckhart in medieval Germany, Teresa of Avila, and John of the Cross in Spain's Golden Age described with astonishing precision an inner path where the human soul unites intimately with God in the deepest part of being. Teresa of Avila in the 16th century spoke of the interior castle, an extraordinarily powerful image of the internal dwelling places of the soul, like a castle with many rooms, where God himself dwells in the most central and intimate dwelling place, patiently waiting to be found by whoever dares to make the journey inward. John of the Cross wrote extensively about the dark night of the soul, that mysterious but necessary process of inner purification, where the soul gradually strips away everything that isn't essential, all illusions, all attachments, all false identities, to finally find the true light that was always shining in the center, though hidden. Meister Eckhart in the 14th century boldly spoke of a birth of God in the soul, a radical inner awakening where the divine becomes present, not as an abstract idea that is thought, not as a doctrine that is memorized, but as a living, tangible, transformative experience that is felt in every cell of one's being. None of these great mystics were inventing something new or heretical. They were simply recovering, rediscovering, reviving what was always there from the beginning, what Jesus had taught, what the living tradition always preserved, what the masses had forgotten. And modern science, curiously, surprisingly, is beginning to confirm with its own methods what the mystics always knew through direct experience. Rigorous studies on meditation and contemplative prayer show real, measurable, verifiable changes in brain structure and function, significant and sustained reduction of stress, anxiety, depression, activation of brain areas specifically associated with compassion, deep peace, lasting well-being, measurable and documented healing of the physical body through purely interior and contemplative practices. The HeartMath Institute, among many other research centers, has scientifically documented how states of cardiac coherence, achieved precisely through contemplative practices similar to inner prayer, produce measurable physical changes throughout the human organism. It's not irrational magic. It's not primitive superstition. It's not infantile magical thinking. It's the completely natural result of consciously entering a state where body and spirit align perfectly, where we stop living fragmented, mind separate from body, body separate from spirit, spirit completely forgotten, and finally begin to live integrated, complete, whole as we were designed to live. Jesus didn't come to this world to found a religion of empty external rituals and doctrines that are memorized to pass a theological exam. He came to show a path of radical inner transformation. And that path is available right now. It doesn't require permission from any religious institution. It doesn't require theological degrees or official ordination. It doesn't require years of academic study. It only requires one thing: the genuine willingness to enter. Now we're going to do something sacred together. It's not complicated. It doesn't require any special skill you don't have. You don't have to have meditated ever in your life. You don't have to know absolutely anything. It only requires your presence. It only requires that you be here now with me. If you can, sit comfortably wherever you are. If you're lying down, perfect, stay that way. If you're on public transport or walking down the street, simply reduce your pace a bit and continue listening. We're going to enter the secret room together. First, take a deep and conscious breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, filling your lungs with fresh air, filling yourself with life. And exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing everything you don't need, letting go of all tension. Again, inhale deeply, receiving the life that is freely offered to you, and release, liberating all weight, all fear, all worry. One more time. Inhale, filling yourself with light, and exhale, emptying yourself of darkness. With each exhalation, allow the accumulated tension to dissolve naturally. The shoulders relax and drop. The jaw releases. The brow smooths. The hands soften. You don't have to do absolutely anything right now. You don't have to solve any problem. You don't have to plan anything. You don't have to worry about the future or regret the past. Just be here. Just exist. Just be. Now gently bring your attention to the center of your chest, to that sacred place where the spiritual heart lives. Imagine that there, in the exact center of your chest, there's a door. A small but infinitely significant door, luminous, warm, welcoming, patiently waiting to be opened. Maybe you'd never consciously noticed it before, but it was always there. Since your first day of life, since before, with your pure intention, with your sincere willingness, with your simple desire to enter, that door slowly begins to open. You don't have to force anything, you don't have to push, you don't have to strain. Just allow, just consent, just say yes internally, with all your heart. Behind that door is the secret room Jesus spoke of, the inner sanctuary where the Father, the infinite presence, awaits you. He has always waited for you there, with infinite patience, with unconditional love. Since before time existed, enter, not with mental effort, with surrender of the heart, not with force of will, with loving surrender, not with control, with trust. Now, while you remain in that sacred inner space, I'm going to give you a phrase you can repeat internally, not with the noisy analytical mind, but with the silent receptive heart. The phrase is this: my prayer is alive and conscious. The kingdom is within me. Repeat it internally now, very slowly, feeling each word as if it were the first time you hear it. My prayer is alive and conscious. The kingdom is within me. Not as an empty mantra repeated mechanically without thinking, but as a solemn declaration of truth, as a deep recognition of what is already eternally real. Again, more slowly. My prayer is alive and conscious. The kingdom is within me. Feel each word. Let the words descend from your thinking head to your feeling heart, from abstract thought to concrete feeling, from theory to experience. One last time, with all your presence. My prayer is alive and conscious. The kingdom is within me. Perhaps right now you're feeling something real in your body, a warmth that expands, a peace that descends, an emotion that has no name, an ancient recognition, a feeling of having finally arrived home. Perhaps you still don't feel anything your mind can clearly identify, and that too is absolutely fine. Genuine inner prayer doesn't always produce immediate and spectacular sensations that satisfy our need for instant results. Sometimes it works at levels so deep that ordinary consciousness cannot perceive or measure. But trust, something is happening. Something is moving in the depths of your being. Something is being healed, restored, awakened. Remain a moment longer in that sacred space, breathing consciously, feeling fully, simply being. And when you're ready, very softly, very gently, bring your attention back to the present moment. But don't close the inner door completely. Leave it ajar, so you can return anytime you wish or need, because this secret room is always there, always available, always waiting for you with infinitely open arms. What you just experienced, even if it was just a glimpse, a fleeting touch, a gentle breeze, is something human beings have lived throughout thousands and thousands of years of history. It's not something rare or strange. It's not exclusive to special chosen ones, exceptional enlightened people, or saints with supernatural powers. It's something deeply, essentially, universally human. It's part of your sacred heritage as a conscious being created in the image and likeness of the divine. The monks of the Egyptian desert, in the 4th century of our era, left absolutely everything they knew to seek this same experience. They lived in dark caves, in miserable mud huts. In such radical silence, they would go entire weeks without uttering a single word. They dedicated every hour of every day of their lives to one single thing, repeatedly entering the secret room of the heart. Why did they do it? Why did they sacrifice families, possessions, comforts, the entire world? Because they had tasted something that changed everything. A taste of divine presence so real, so alive, so infinitely satisfying, that all the pleasures of the world, all imaginable riches, all possible achievements, seemed completely pale and insipid in comparison. Teresa of Avila, in 16th century Spain, described in her writings states of prayer so deep and rapturous that her physical body would literally become suspended, immobilized by divine ecstasy, her heart inflamed with a love so intense she thought she would die of joy. Unstoppable tears of a happiness that has no equivalent in any earthly experience. But Teresa wasn't a mythical and unreachable figure from a remote past. She was an absolutely real woman, with tormenting doubts, with devastating internal struggles, with chronic physical illnesses that plagued her throughout her life. And even so, with all her human limitations, she found the inner door, and she entered. And she was transformed forever. And it wasn't just the famous mystics whose names we remember and study. Throughout all of history, countless common anonymous people, completely forgotten by history books, experienced exactly the same thing. Humble peasants who found God while plowing their fields in silence. Exhausted workers who touched the infinite in the stillness of dawn before starting their workday. Exhausted mothers who discovered heaven while rocking their babies at night. Worried fathers who found peace amid their daily struggles to survive. People without any formal education, without academic degrees, without social position, who suddenly, in an unexpected moment of inner silence, touched something infinite. This is not spiritual elitism reserved for a fortunate few. It's universal human heritage. It's your spiritual birthright. Everyone, absolutely everyone, has the innate capacity to enter the secret room. Everyone has that inner door waiting to be opened. The only thing that varies is how many of us know that door exists, how many have received the map showing the way, how many dare to finally open it. Today, you have received that map. Not because I have some special power or exclusive secret knowledge, but because all these words are simply a reminder of what your soul already knows in its deepest depths, an awakening of an ancient memory that was asleep. There are people right now watching this same video in completely different countries, speaking different languages, living totally diverse life situations, feeling exactly the same thing you're feeling now, that unmistakable tingle of deep recognition, that unmistakable feeling of, this is true, this is what I've always been looking for, that indescribable relief of finally hearing expressed in words what you always knew intuitively, but didn't know how to articulate. You're not alone on this inner path. There's an invisible but real community of sincere seekers who throughout all the centuries of human history have walked this same sacred path. And now, today, at this moment, you officially join them. I'd like to ask you something important. Tell me in the comments which specific part of this message reached deepest into your heart. Was it the revealing idea of the secret room? Was it the conscious breathing practice? Was it the mantra phrase we repeated together? Was it some physical sensation you experienced in your body? Write it in your own words, not to impress me, for yourself, because when you write what you feel, you anchor it in concrete reality. You make it more yours. You seal it in your memory. You integrate it into your life. And who knows, maybe your honest and vulnerable comment is exactly what someone else on the other side of the world needs to read today to feel less alone in their own spiritual search. If you've made it to this point in the video, if you're still here listening after all this time together, there's something fundamental I want you to understand with absolute certainty and clarity. You're not here by chance or cosmic accident. Out of the millions and millions of videos that exist on the internet, out of the infinite digital distractions fiercely competing to capture your attention every second of every day, something mysterious but real brought you precisely to this exact moment. You can call it coincidence if your rational mind prefers. You can attribute it to the YouTube algorithm. You can say it was pure luck or chance. But at the deepest and truest level of your being, you know, even if you can't prove it scientifically, that there's something more operating here. There's an inner calling that instinctively recognizes truth when it finally hears it. There's a sacred compass in your soul that always points toward the source, even when it sometimes seems lost or demagnetized. And that inner compass guided you here, to this video, to these words, to this moment of your life. Not all people feel this kind of deep calling. Not everyone has this insatiable hunger for spiritual depth. Many, perhaps most, are perfectly satisfied living on the surface of existence, with the world's distractions, with constant noise, with filling the inner void with things, experiences, achievements, relationships that never finish filling it. But not you. You're different, not better, different. Something in you always knew from very early on that there had to be more. That authentic spiritual life couldn't be reduced to repeating memorized prayers without feeling absolutely anything. That God, if he truly existed, couldn't be simply an abstract, cold, distant, theological concept to whom you send petitions like letters to a celestial mailbox. That there had to exist a real, living, palpable, transforming connection. That something that always knew. That persistent whisper that never completely fell silent is your truest, deepest self. It's the inextinguishable divine spark that lives in the center of your center. It's the Christ within that never died, never went out, though sometimes it seemed completely asleep under layers and layers of conditioning, pain, distraction, and forgetfulness. And now, today, at this moment, that sacred spark is being rekindled once again. The inner path we're exploring together is not easy. Let's be completely honest about it. It's not a convenient shortcut. It's not a magic pill that solves everything instantly. It's not a guaranteed formula for getting everything your ego desires without any effort or transformation. It's a real and sometimes painful process of deep transformation, of gradual death of the false ego and rebirth of the true spirit, of releasing everything you thought you were, all false identities, all masks, all defenses, to finally discover what you really are in your most intimate essence. But it's the only path that truly leads somewhere real, the only one that leads to peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, to joy that cannot be stolen, to freedom that no prison can contain. And you don't have to walk this path in complete solitude. Jesus himself declared, "I am the way." He didn't say, "I point you to the way from afar while you struggle alone." He said, "I am the way." He himself is the path you walk. He walks with you, within you, as the deepest part of you. The Christ within we've spoken of is not just a nice theological idea for Sunday sermons. It's an absolutely real presence that can guide you in every difficult decision, sustain you in every painful fall, illuminate you in every terrifying darkness. Your job is not to create that presence. It's already there. It always was. Your only job is to recognize it. Open yourself to it without reservations. Allow it to transform you completely from the inside out. And something extraordinarily beautiful happens when you genuinely commit to this inner path. You begin to find other sincere walkers, kindred souls who recognize the same sacred calling, a true spiritual family that transcends all geographical borders, all languages, all religious denominations, and all the artificial divisions we humans have invented to separate ourselves. We've reached the end of this video, but by no means is it the end of the path. The true path is just beginning for you. Today we've explored together the inner prayer Jesus practiced. We've discovered the secret room he spoke of so clearly. We've touched the kingdom that is within you, waiting to be fully discovered and inhabited. We've done a sacred practice together. You've experienced, even if just for a brief instant, that inner space where the divine presence dwells eternally. You've repeated and engraved in your heart a phrase that now lives within you. My prayer is alive and conscious. The kingdom is within me. But this is not something you understand once intellectually and then file away in memory. It's something you live moment by moment, day after day, breath after breath, for the rest of your existence. The invitation I'm making to you is not simply to understand inner prayer as just another concept added to your collection of spiritual knowledge. It's that you practice it faithfully, that you enter the secret room every day, even if just for a few minutes stolen from the world's noise, that you patiently cultivate that sacred connection until it becomes as natural and indispensable as breathing. And when prayer finally becomes life, life itself transforms into continuous prayer. Every ordinary moment becomes extraordinarily sacred. Every common breath becomes communion with the infinite. Every fleeting instant becomes eternal encounter with the presence. I want to leave you now with a blessing. Not a blessing I give you from outside, as if I had some special power or authority over you, but a blessing that simply recognizes and celebrates what already exists in you since always. May the divine presence that dwells in your deepest center become ever more real, more tangible, more alive, more undeniable to you. May the secret room of your heart be your unshakable refuge amid all the chaos and noise of the outside world. May inner prayer heal everything that needs to be healed in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, in every dimension of your being. May it awaken everything that needs to awaken. May it release everything that needs to be released. May it illuminate everything that needs light. May the eternal Christ who lives in you rise in all his glory, shine with all his infinite light, and transform absolutely everything he touches, starting with you. Amen. So be it. So it is. This inner path continues. What we've explored together today is just the first step of an infinite journey that has no end. There's much more waiting to be discovered, more depth to explore, more practices to learn, more revelations to receive, more transformation to experience. The video appearing on your screen right now will take you to the next step of this sacred inner path. I'll be waiting for you there with open arms. Thank you from the depths of my heart for being here today. Thank you for seeking with sincerity. Thank you for not settling for less than what your soul truly deserves and yearns for. See you in the next video. The journey continues.